visited some friends of ours who live in the neighborhood, who you had done some work for, a doctor friend of ours who is very close and been a very good friend of mine for a long time. And I looked at some of your work, and he knew that we were planning on building a house. And he said, this is the guy that you need to get if you're going to have all your custom stuff done. So that's been approximately 7 years ago. It took 4.5 years to build this house, 2 years to plan it. And during the whole process, we really never had a full set of plans of what we intended to do. It was designed by committee. That's where Teresa and I and you got together, right, and started looking at different things that we thought we needed to do. Right. And then you came up with all the ideas of things that we really needed to do. And we kind of meshed the two together. What we thought we needed, some of it's in here. What you thought we needed, some of it's in here. And it all came together as what I think is probably one of the neatest jobs I've ever seen. And I've had a lot of people come through this house and marvel at the type of woodwork that's been done in it.
Wayne, Teresa, I remember just when the first times we met, I was able to view the plans and roll out the big set of plans and see the different rooms, and at that time really not knowing the magnitude of how much work that I would be doing at the time and how elaborate that it may have evolved to.
To look at a floor plan and then try to decide what's going to fit in those areas takes a special talent. And I'm thankful for that.
I was very, very pleased with the investigative work that you did to find different elements to put on your cabinetry. We wanted lion's heads for the bar and a little lion head for Wayne's closets, and we came up with some special drawers and doors in those closets, Wayne's and mine. You came up with some beautiful columns for my closet and decided that they were a little bit of a waste of space because they were so big. So then that's when you came up with the idea of cutting them in half so that the bottoms could be pulled out. And I could use the bottom parts to hang belts and hang scarves. And I think that's one of the reasons that we did choose you, because we had seen some of your excellent work and kind of fell in love with it. Right. And we thoroughly enjoy this house now because of a lot of your work.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Teresa, I remember this is one of the first areas that we began in, and at the beginning of the project, it was talked about what would the process be, where would we start, and how it would all evolve.
But I had originally said that I wanted all mirrors here, and then with your ideas, you said, let's not do that, let's make it look like a piece of furniture. And then that's when you divided it and put all these beautiful accessories.
Right, try to incorporate so that we actually have a medicine cabinet here. Before, instead of just being all mirrors, we tied the reeded columns in to match the reeded columns on the base. And then again, the curved cabinet ties into the theme of the house because you got a lot of radiuses going on in this room, as well as the face in front of the house.
And you also put an electrical outlet inside that door, so that I could have different things hooked up to it and it wouldn't be sitting there on the counter. This is what Jim and myself and the interior designer came up with to utilize wall space. We put the shoes on the back and the pocketbooks on the front, and this can push back and forth. I've got heels on one side and flats on the other. We also took this and cut it in half
This is the columns.
This is the columns, and so we put belts on either side of this column, and over on that column we hung scarves. Jim and the interior designer and I talked about this because I'm so short, and he found this mechanism for me that you can pull the clothes down, choose what you would like, and then put them back up.
Jim came in after we had the room built, and he went to our other home and measured our clothes to find out how much space we really needed. That's what determined the number of racks that would be in this room. He took the time to measure 10 pair of pants, or 10 sport coats, or 10 shirts, or a dozen shirts, and that's where we came up with the design of the racks in the room. Then we found out we had extra space, so we ended up building 2 islands in the center of the room that really are very, very, very functional as far as I'm concerned. It puts everything that I want, that I don't have to go to another room to find. I don't have to go look for it. I know where it's at.
Jim provided me with hidden trash cans, which I dearly love, and also a lot of pull-outs here for my sewing.
This cabinet, it was deep enough to allow a pull-out on the very first shelf to have the items come out to her instead of having to reach.
It's made all the difference in the world in the way we live in this house.
Right.